church that brings me closer to my Savior. Little bit of heaven, a whole lot of love left behind.
Well, good morning and welcome to Rise and Shine, Franklin County. We're so glad that you've joined us this morning, and there's nothing shining out there yet. Sun has not come up. It's dark out there, so I want to tell you, be careful. Not sure. I didn't see any buses running yet, but that doesn't mean they're not out there now. Please be careful of the children waiting for the school bus, and when you see those red lights blinking, be sure and stop. If you're on a road that has a median and you have an oncoming bus, you don't have to stop, but like on North Main Street and Route 40, you must stop. If there is a school bus stopped and you're oncoming, you must stop for that bus if there is not a median. So I'm Joyce Gordon. I'm just happy to be here. It has been one busy week this last week, and this week, well, it's not as quite as busy this week, but you know, who knows? It's only Monday. We never know what's coming up. But I have some ladies with us this morning who want to share with us what they do here in Franklin County. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and we're going to get right down and talk about what we've got going on with them. So we have.
Good morning, Joyce. My name is Tony Turner, and I'm the director at the Franklin County Department of Social Services.
Okay.
Well, good morning. I'm Ashley Rutter, and I'm the Assistant Director of Benefits at the Department of Social Services.
Okay, ladies. Well, I'm sure you all have a busy, busy job yourselves. So tell us, what kind of services, I don't know who wants to start off, what kind of services do you offer?
Okay. We have many programs. We have benefits and we have services. So on the benefits side, and I'll try not to say too many acronyms, so I'll say it and then I'll spell it out because we have a lot of acronyms. So we offer SNAP, which is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which used to be called food stamps.
Okay.
We also offer Medicaid, and then we have energy. Energy is many components. So we have the heating, we have the cooling, we have crisis, and we now have a new program called PIP, which Ashley will speak about. We also have child care, TANF, which is Temporary Assistance to Needy Families, which is an actual financial assistance. We have VIEW, which is Virginia Initiative for Education and Work, which is a component that goes with TANF. So if you get TANF, you have to be in the VIEW program. So we try to get you independent and go back to work. And then we also have a fraud program. So if you receive benefits that you're not entitled to, we have a fraud investigator, and you'll have to pay them back. And then on the services side, we have foster care, and we have child protective services. We have adult protective services and adult services. We have in-home services, which is our prevention, trying to keep kiddos out of foster care. And then we also have adoption.
Wow. You have a lot going on.
Yeah.
This is, I did not know about, I knew about the heating, and I knew about the heating, that people could get heat assistance. So should we just take one by one and talk about it, or do you want to go that far, like SNAP? So your food stamps, so you have to apply for those? Is that according to your income, how you, and your dependents?
Yep. And Ashley may want to talk. She's the assistant director of benefits.
Okay.
Yeah, so for all of those programs that Tony mentioned, the SNAP, Medicaid, child care, and so on, all of those programs, there's eligibility requirements that are non-financial and also financial. It would be very simple if they all have the same income limit, where that would make things easy, but every single program has its own rules. So that's why it's very difficult sometimes just to tell someone, just after a quick conversation, whether they're eligible or not. So for every single one of those programs, most of them, there's federal poverty guidelines. For example, energy assistance, like for the heating assistance that you mentioned, someone would have to be at or below 150% of the federal poverty limit in order to qualify.
So what is the poverty level now? Is for income?
Right off the top of my head, I think I probably would have to look that up to know exactly, because it changes so often. And like I said, every single program is different. Like one might be 150%, another one might be something different. There's also in those programs different types of Medicaid and things like that. So depending on that, the whatever limit that you're at could what type of Medicaid that you qualify for. So it gets a little complex, but certainly there's those benefits there for people when anytime you're going through a difficult time or you think that this might be something that you're interested in applying in, we can certainly help with that.
Okay. So now I'm always into location. So you were telling me, and I'm way behind time, so I thought you were still down off 220. So you're in the old library building there on Court Street?
Yes, ma'am.
At 120, is it 120?
120 East Court Street.
Okay. So if anybody needs any of these, they can always stop by there, or how would be the best way?
Of course. Yeah, they can stop by. They can call us. We can mail out an application to them. Even if our agency is closed, we have applications in a big blue box outside of our location and a drop box. So whether, if it's on a weekend and you want to fill that application out, you can certainly do that and submit it. You can also apply online at commonhelp.virginia.gov. And when you do that, that actually has a screening tool that you can use. So before you apply, you might think it's a little easier just to use that screening tool that kind of gives you an idea that you might qualify. So instead of going through that whole process just to find out that you don't, that screening tool can guide you a little bit on that as well.
Okay, so that's online.
It is.
Okay. Tell us again, how did we get to that?
Sure. It's www.commonhelp.virginia.gov. You do have to spell the word Virginia out, though. You can't abbreviate it.
Okay. It's all because I always tell people when I'm giving them a web address, if you spell it wrong or if you put a space in there, you're not going anywhere. You're not going to get anything. So you have to be careful.
Correct.
So that's good to know. You need to spell that out. Okay. So you'll also have a benefit if you needed to report abuse and neglect. Is that for children or for wives or husbands, or how would they go about doing that?
Well, there's many ways you can report abuse and neglect. You can actually call the office and speak to our front desk persons. We have 3, so you can call 540-483-9247, and you can give them the information. We also have an intake line, and the intake line is 540-352, make sure I have it right, 352-5131. And then you would be speaking directly to the intake person who actually takes all the information, and she will disseminate it to the proper worker.
Okay.
And that if you would also, or if you would rather, you can call the state hotlines. And for CPS, Child Protective Services, you would dial 1-800-552-7096. And then we have Adult Protective Services, which is an entirely different part of the Virginia Department of Social Services. And they're at 1-888-832-3858. And then if you're a mandatory reporter, meaning you're a teacher, you work for the hospitals, you work in the medical field, you work at any of the nonprofits where you work with children, then you can go into a portal. And the portal is VA, so VA for Virginia, CPS.DSS.Virginia spelled out .gov. So there are many ways to report abuse and neglect. And if you need this information, go out to Franklin County va.gov, and if you go to the very top where the lines are on the right-hand side, go click that, go down to departments I through Z, and once you click on that, you can find social services, and we have our own website with all these numbers on it.
Okay. Wow. You got lots of numbers.
Yeah.
But that would be probably the best way to get to you is to go through that one, and then it would direct you where to go.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now you talk about abuse and neglect. Is this like for the elderly and for children?
It is. Yep. We have many units. We have 87 people that work at social services. So every one of these programs has their own little unit that handles that program. And so Child Protective Service and Adult Protective Service are 2 separate units, but unfortunately we have quite a bit of work for those units.
I bet you do.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you do. Wow. And you all do an amazing job with all these things that you've got going on. So now for the heating and the cooling assistances, so that is That's one of yours, right?
Yes, that was
I
one of
got
mine.
benefits and I got
Yes.
services here, trying to keep you all separated.
Yes, that's correct. So those programs are seasonal. And so they have certain time periods that they run, like our heating assistance. That always happens the second October in every year. So the second October to the second, the second Tuesday in October. That's helpful, huh? The second Tuesday in October to the second Friday in November. I believe that's October the 8th is the second.
Now, is that to apply
Tuesday?
for it?
Yes, to apply for it. So you can only apply for the heating assistance during that time period.
Okay. So if you let yourself get past the second Friday in November and then it gets cold as I don't know what in January, you're out of luck.
Well, we do have a crisis program.
Okay.
So it just depends. And that program runs, it's kind of broken down into several different pieces, but it begins in November 1 and it runs to March 15th. So if you have a crisis emergency to where maybe you need a repair, that program generally starts in November. But if you have like an AEP disconnect, that program starts in January. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So if you couldn't pay your light bill and they disconnected it, that program, so you couldn't qualify with that until January.
Until January,
You're out of luck. Those
yeah.
are the cold months.
It is. And so oftentimes when we run into that situation with clients, because that does happen quite a bit, we refer them to other county resources that we have, like Lake Christian Ministries or Agape, that can sometimes offer some assistance as well.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. So we do want you to know they are located in the old library building, if you don't know where that is, 120 Court Street. This is where you can find these ladies and all of these agencies all housed. You got all of them in that building. You got 87 employees in there.
No, actually, Ashley's entire team is remote, so they all work remote.
Okay.
So what's in the 120 East Court Street building would be the services. Because we go to core and we have to do so much case staffing, we have to be inside the building. So inside that building would be CPS, adult services, APS, in-home services prevention, foster care, adoption, and then my admin team. So I have HR because we're kind of our own little entity as we are Virginia Department of Social Services. So we have our own HR department. I have my own finance department. I have a local security officer that handles all of our electronics. So we have probably around 50 people in that building.
Yes, and all of our clerical staff is there. So even though all of our benefits staff work remotely, the public can come in right to that window, and we have our clerical staff there that can give out applications or any information about benefits as well.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's, the ladies, you all do a lot. But like I said, there's so many agencies in Franklin County that people don't know about, and there's help out there for you, and you just don't know about it. So this is really good to have you on here, and our show airs again at 2:30 in the afternoon. Some of my ladies don't like to get up early in the morning, and they watch the show then at 2:30 or at 5 o'clock. And then sometimes it will air again through the week, and they can get these numbers and find out all these things that they need to know. And I said there's just so much going on activity-wise and benefit-wise in Franklin County that people just don't know that the help is out there.
Right. That's right.
So, okay, so now Care Portal, tell us about that.
Sure. So Care Portal is a secure and confidential platform that local DSSs across the state will utilize with churches. And what the system is helping foster care kiddos and prevention kiddos. And so what we do as a DSS is we put a request out there for a family or a kiddo. For example, the goal is to keep families stable and reunify kiddos with their families. So this portal allows us to put things out on Care Portal, such as the family needs a bed, the family needs a refrigerator, they may need their electric bill paid, they may need repairs to their vehicles. So what we do is we try to figure out what we can do to help the family become independent and stable so the kiddos can either go back to the family if we have them in care, or they can stay with the family so they don't come out of care. And the churches, they do a remarkable job helping us in this. As of, I think we've been in the care portal now 3 years, it's helped 267 kiddos or families.
Wow.
And the dollar amount, I wasn't able to look in it last night. I just got back from New Mexico from a conference for adult protective services. But I mean, it's in the, I would say $50,000-$60,000 that churches have donated to families. And basically, they don't give financial assistance to the families. What they do is they pay their bills for them, or they buy the dresser or the bed and they actually take it to the family.
Well, that's a good way to know that that money gets where it needs to be.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
That's a good idea. That's like when we see people out with signs and they need help. I would rather go buy them lunch and hand them a bag with the lunch in it than to give them the money, because you're not really sure
Right.
where the money's going to go.
Right.
This is a
So-
great way too, because the workers are putting that information in there when they see that need in that family. So you know that it's a genuine need because a worker has seen that need themselves as well. So
Okay. Well, that is good to know too. All right. So you say we have a new program. Is it PIP?
yes, and that stands for the Percentage of Energy Payment Program. Kind of like our energy assistance program, like the heating. However, this program, it's new and it is year-round, so it can help you with your AEP bill year-round if you qualify for that. And that one, you would have to be at 150% of the federal poverty limit or less. And with that program, it just helps to reduce the cost of your AEP bill. So if you use your electricity to heat your home, then your bill is only going to be 10% of what your income is. So if, for example, if you make $1,000 in SSI, then your bill is not going to be over $100 with AEP. So that really helps sometimes, just especially during those winter months when your electric bill can go sky high. So that is a program that is new to us. We've definitely been receiving a lot of applications, and it's been going really well.
Well, that is yeah. With what you hear in the news about your electric bill is going to go up, and then I'll knock on wood, mine came down this month. My friend said, "Wow." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So I bet I haven't been cooking as much since I've been under the weather some lately. I had COVID here a few weeks ago, and so you don't cook. So that's one thing. Yes, I saved energy on the stove, and I've noticed the weather hasn't been too bad lately,
Right.
heat-wise.
Been really
So, I mean, it hasn't been really hot, so the air hasn't been running.
Right.
So that has helped me out. So, but these programs, they're all different on what your income level would have to be
Yes.
in order to qualify.
That's correct.
So that would be, they would have to get the application for whatever program they were interested in or needed to see if they qualified.
That's right. And the best way, like I said, is either to go online and do that screening tool, or you can come into our agency, because our clerical staff, they're going to know exactly, what you're asking for. They're going to know what application, and they can even assist you in filling that out as well. Because
Okay.
some of them are lengthy, some of them are a little shorter, but, and sometimes they ask questions that, if you don't work with those programs, it may be difficult to understand. So we definitely have staff there on hand that can assist as well.
That's good. And you say there are applications there in a box
Yeah.
on the front porch that if over the weekend you say, I'll go pick up one and work on this over the weekend.
Yes, it kind of looks like an old newspaper box, I think,
It
which
is.
you would get the paper newspapers out of. And we have all of our applications are in there as well. And then there's also a confidential drop box as well, so that way if you wanted to
Well,
leave.
that's very convenient. And then under the weather too, because there's a little porch there on the front,
Yes,
if I remember
ma'am, there
correctly,
is.
about the old library.
You're right.
Well, gee, ladies, this is just wonderful that you have all these programs. And like I said, there's so many people here in Franklin County that don't know about them. But this hopefully will be of help to them if somebody needs help, that they can contact you all and get some services that they need. Anything else that you can think of that you need to tell us about? I'm sure you've got plenty. You probably could spend the day here with me.
Well, we probably could. But no, I think that covers quite a bit. So.
So, you kind of depend on like guidance counselors in school to let you know if a child needs services.
Tony's kind
Yeah.
of more her field, so I'll let you answer.
We do receive a lot of referrals from the Franklin County Public School. So they reach out, they call the intake. They have a direct line to the intake. We have special processes that we work with the school. We have a special code word, so we make sure everything is confidential, and we take all those reports very serious and handle them, accordingly.
Yeah. Well, you kind of figure they're right there one-on-one with those kids, so they would kind of know or get a feel. And you
Right.
would hope they would, and you would
Right.
hope that a child would go and ask for help, or they would pick up on that they do need your assistance.
Yeah.
Well, that is remarkable. I mean, we just never know. I mean, I worked in the school for 22 years. I just retired the 1st of July, and we just don't know what children go through at home before they get to school. And I know I've had Dr. Johnson on to talk about absenteeism and truancy and how important it is for kids to be in school.
Right.
Absolutely.
I know I have seen some children over my years at the Giroux Center, kids that went into foster care, and how they had blossomed after they had gone to live with that foster parent. And I'll never forget, one young man came through and he was all dressed up one day, and we all clapped, and he was so handsome. And just you could just see him being, it just made such a difference to him to get a compliment.
Yeah.
And I always used to tell the kids, smiles are contagious. So when they'd come through and they might not be smiling, and I'd look up and I'd say, hey, smiles contagious. And they didn't exactly catch on what I meant. But after I smiled at them and talked to them for a minute, they maybe they'd go out smiling, maybe not. But I tried.
Right.
Right. And we do have a foster care portal that if anyone wants to be a foster family, at the Virginia Department of Social Services, they have their own website. And at the bottom of that website is a foster care portal. And you can go ahead and put your name and information in there, and it'll shoot out to the different localities, because there's 120 DSS localities across the state. So if you want to be a foster family for Franklin County, you just put that information in, and it goes to our resource coordinator, and which we have at the office. And she will call you and discuss the benefits of becoming a foster family.
Okay. I'll never forget, years ago, I used to sell Worldbook encyclopedias, and a bus driver had gone by. This was in Roanoke. A bus driver had gone by, and it looked like there was no one at home. And so they couldn't drop the child off. It was a kindergarten age child. And I had called on that family to buy some World Books, and they had taken that child that the mom just left.
Oh.
And so they had to find a place. And then there was another foster child there also. So it's a wonderful thing that foster parents are able to take these kids and help them.
Absolutely.
That is wonderful. Well, ladies, you have lots of going on down there at 120 and out on now, so do you work from home?
I work there on location at 120.
Okay.
And all my staff are remote. However, I still work on, and it's been wonderful to me, because even though we're kind of divided into two branches of services and benefits, it's been wonderful for me to kind of see how to bridge that, because most of the families they're working with are families that we're working with as well. So to make that connection, and then just to see it full circle, all the services that they get has been really good for me to see that.
And it's good to know that you've got services and you've got benefits, because that might be confusing to people.
Right, it can be, because sometimes they'll have a different worker for benefits and services. And so what my job is there that since I'm on location, is to help kind of bridge that gap and to make sure that we're communicating about our cases well and getting all the information across to one another, because it is confusing to have to keep up with multiple workers, and we don't want anyone to have to be overwhelmed by that. So that's what I'm there for, to try to help to make sure that we have all that communication going through smoothly and get all the information to one another.
Well, that's wonderful. That's a job in itself to coordinate everything. And you all do a fantastic job, I'm sure. Haven't needed your services, thank God. But hey, I know where to find you now.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else you want to add before we go into doing my announcements? Did any of you get out to the fest over the weekend?
I didn't, unfortunately, but I heard
I was out of
great
town.
things about it.
Well, I was too. I was in Roanoke at the Lions Club Fall Conference and reconnected with people. I've been in Lions Club. And if you'd like to join the Lions Club and adding on to your other, networking, we do help with eyeglass assistance for anybody that needs assistance. for eyeglasses. I know Medicare does some portions, but we also help with that too. That's how the Lions Club got started, with helping with eyeglass assistance. A group of men up in Chicago, Illinois, they were doing well for themselves and they wanted to help their fellow man. So they got together, and Helen Keller challenged this group of men. And I found out this was 99 years ago, over the weekend. She challenged them to be Knights for the Blind. And so that's when they started doing the eyeglass assistance. And like, you have to qualify, you have to fill out an application, and then we send it in, and then either you get help with your frames or with your lenses, one or the other. So we have a little benefit going on there too, but we're always looking for young people to join the Lions Club. And I'm going to put a plug in there for the Rocky Mountain Lions Club. I'm the president, and we meet the second Thursdays at Jose's Restaurant at 6 p.m. We'd love to have you come and visit. Just come and visit and see what we do. We have a small group. I say we're small with a mighty roar. We have hung on. We have just celebrated our 100th anniversary for our Rocky Mount Club. Rocky Mount is 150. They celebrated that last year with this fest. And then it was so much fun, everybody enjoyed it, and they continued on with the fest that they had on Saturday. And no, I did not get there, but I was, like I said, and with the fall conference for the Lions Club.
That's great.
Well, it has been wonderful having you ladies here this early this morning, looking so beautiful and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this early in the morning. We do thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having us.
And if anytime you want to come back and reiterate this, as the weather gets cooler, if you want to come back and reiterate about your heating assistance, because you have to apply between the second Tuesday in October and the second Friday in November.
Yes, absolutely.
I
Got
cheated,
it.
I wrote it down. So if you want to come back again, and as the weather gets cooler, and so we can remind people so they won't miss out in applying for this. I think that's very important. It's nothing any worse than to be cold.
Right. Absolutely.
And when I see people out and about, I don't know, I was coming by the Methodist Church there in Redwood, and they have the warming center that they start. I
Yes.
think, I'm not sure which month that is. We usually have them on so they can advertise that also. And then we've got a fest coming up, or a celebration that's coming Saturday for the Stepping Stone Mission. They are having their fundraiser this coming Saturday, and I'll tell about that in a few minutes. So that is a wonderful thing, that they provide a meal every day, 365 days a year.
Amazing.
It is, and they get no federal funding. It's all done by donation. And I was right across the room from the gentleman that put in for the grant to get that little, you see the little white van that goes around and
Yes,
picks up donations, because the grocery stores, some restaurants, they all, like anything they have left over, they'll donate it. So we want to give Smith Mountain Lake a plug there for getting that done. They're better at writing grants than I am. I'm not the greatest grant writer. I need to take some education on how to do that. Well, again, ladies, thank you so much for coming in this morning and telling us about all these programs, benefits, and services that you have. So we're going to take a short break, fill up that coffee cup. I don't see the sun coming up yet, but we'll be back with Rise and Shine to tell you about some things coming up this coming week and this coming weekend. So stay with us. welcome back to Rise and Shine. We have some things coming up this week, and we don't want you to miss. We had the Rocky Mountain Fest this past weekend. I heard it was wonderful, well attended. I didn't get to go. Like I said, I was at the fall conference for the Lions Club in Roanoke. That doesn't meet locally here real often, but I got an opportunity to go and connect with people that I've known. I've been in the Lions Club for 17 years. It was so nice to see these people that I met 17 years ago, and they're still Lions. But coming up this weekend, we do want to let you know there are still some slots. I saw last night on Facebook. There are still some slots available. They're going to have a Paws Up Panther cheer clinic that's coming Saturday. It's for grades K through 8 on September the 28th from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Ferrum College Schwartz Gymnasium. It costs $60 to attend, cash only, and they only had 40 spots, but they do have a few still open. So if you have any questions, the easiest way to get in touch with Coach Hunt at ahunt1, the number 1, at ferrum.edu. So get online and contact her if you still want to get your name in the pot or your little darling wants to go. These cheerleaders are amazing. We went to the football game the other week, and they are up in the air. They're tossing them. They're just doing all kinds of neat things. So if you want to get your child in, that's K through 8th grade, to get some training on how to learn how to do those things. Pancake breakfast, September the 28th, also going on up at the Ferrum Fire Station from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. All you can eat pancakes. Full breakfast includes sausage and fruit, unlimited drink refills. Kids 3 and under are free. Adults are $10, and 12 and under are $5. And this is sponsored by the Ferrum Lions Club and Friends of Ferrum Park. That's coming up this coming Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Ferrum Fire Station. Okay, also coming up this coming Saturday is the Autumn Fest for the Soup Kitchen there on North Main Street. It is going to be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the parking lot in front of the stadium there at the high school. There's going to be music. Mike Doyle and his spiritual heirs are going to kick it off at 10 o'clock and play probably maybe for an hour. I'm not sure how long. Then there's going to be other music. There's going to be crafts and merchandise vendors. There's going to be lunch. There's going to be smash burgers and fried fish, your sides and drink, desserts for $12. There's going to be a bake sale. I think Joyce will have some of her brownies there. 50-50 raffle. I'll be there working that too from 10 to 12:30. And then you can buy chances on a Walmart gift card. Now, they're $2 each or 3 for $5. And you're going to have 3 chances to win. It's a $250 card, a $175, and a $75 card. So even though you buy 1 ticket, you've got 3 chances to win. If you want to get one of these tickets, they still will be on sale on Saturday. But you can stop by the Stepping Stone Mission there at 1105 North Main Street from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And you do not need to be present to win. Winners will be announced at the event. Now, let me give you a little hint. I know from this past weekend when I was selling chances on pickles, and I'm famous for my pickles in the Lions Club. You know how these address labels that you get in the mail, take a card of those with you. If you're going to buy like 10 raffle tickets, you can put one of those address labels and all you got to do is add your phone number. That is so much easier than writing your name and then phone number on all those little tickets. So pick up a card of those address labels that you get in the mail. I know we all get them. I've got enough address labels I could write to everybody in Franklin County, I feel sure. So bring some of those with you on Saturday, and you can fill out those 50-50 tickets and these raffle tickets faster, okay? Then let's see. I think that's all we have on that. We'll have Miss Stacy Talley and probably Gail Law will be in here on Friday to fill us in more about that. But again, that is coming up on September the 28th. Now, tonight, over in it's going to be Family Fun Day at the Rocky Mountain Farmers Market. This will start at 5 to 7 p.m. this evening. This is Monday, September the 23rd, and this is 2024. Sometimes when our shows are played again and you get the dates confused and people will correct me and say I gave you the wrong date, but this is 2024. Tonight Everyday activities like sharing a meal, playing a game, or asking about their day can make a difference in the life of a child. This is sponsored by the Fresh Prevention Coalition, Piedmont Community Services, and Chill. So come out tonight from 5 to 7 and for Family Fun Day at the Rocky Mount Farmers Market. All right, put this on your calendar. This is a week away. Well, it's 2 weeks away. The Ferrum Flea Market, and it is free to set up at the Ferrum Flea Market. It's so nice we're doing it twice. I was there last year, and I found a lot of people that came on the show, some authors, some people that made wreaths, and it's going to be from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, October the 5th. There's going to be a Ferrum football game that day, and that starts at 2 o'clock. So this is from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So the flea market will be over before the football game starts. So you don't want to miss anything. Join us for the best flea market finds in Ferrum. Vintage, handmade, livestock swap. That should be interesting. Antiques, restorations, and more. Vendors, call or visit our website to reserve your space. And that website is www.yourferrumpark, all one word, .com. And you can reserve a space to be there at the flea market. And that is, now the flea market last year was on the lot there at the front, but the flea market is going to be a little bit further down the road. You go past Ferrum College, there's a lot there where they have the farmers market on Thursday evenings. That's where the parking will be, and there will be some handicap parking. Then a little further down the road is where the flea market's going to be. So I don't want you to miss it and run by it. Okay, and they're also going to, at the flea market, they're going to have sausage, gravy, and biscuits and coffee. And so you might want to, I've heard they got some good sausage gravy going on up there in Ferrum, so you don't want to miss that. Now, they are also collecting, Friends of Ferrum Park in Ferrum are collecting your gently worn, new and used shoes. They are raising funds to help promote this park that they're developing up there in Ferrum. So help us raise funds just by donating gently worn, used, and new shoes. Be sure to ask friends, family, and neighbors, co-workers to donate. You can drop these off on Thursday evenings at the Ferrum Farm and Craft Market every Thursday from 3 to 7, and that's right past Ferrum College on 40, at Cat's Hidden Treasures on Fieldcrest Road, Gracefully Rooted on Timberline Road, Eric Carter's Bank and Trust, right there on the main drag on 40. So again, you can go to www.yourferrumpark.com for more information on that. Franklin County NAACP presents the 2024 Electoral Candidate Forum. Your voice matters, an opportunity to hear from the candidates running for our town and county offices. You know, it's so good to be informed on who's running for office. Some people go and vote and they'll just pick a winner. They don't know them. They don't know them. They don't know what to do. They don't know what they're all about. This gives you an opportunity to meet the candidates. This is going to be on October the 15th. Put it on your calendar. I know this is a ways away, but reserve that time. October the 15th, meet and greet the candidates at 5:30 p.m. at the Pig River Community Center at 2410 South Main Street. You go right through Rocky Mount and keep on going on 220 Business, you'll come to Pig River Community Center there on your right. If you need any more information about this, you can contact Miss Brenda Muse at 540-420-3349. We've got some class reunions coming up. You don't want to miss that. Franklin County High School class of 1979 is having their 45th class reunion picnic. That's coming up this coming Saturday. It is now $30 per person. It will be catered, and it's going to be from 4 to 8 p.m. Saturday, September the 28th at the Wade Park Large Picnic Shelter. So you want to go out and see your friends that you graduated 45 years ago and see how they've changed, see who has changed the most, or maybe not changed at all. People tell me, Joyce, you haven't changed a bit. Well, I can't figure out if I look this old when I was in high school, if I look this good. I don't want to figure it out, okay? So if you want to go, you need to get your name in the pot because it's going to be catered. It is now $30 per person. Give Cindy Bowling Jefferson a ring at 804-239-7022 and let her know that I want to come. And they're not You can make your checks payable to the Franklin County High School class reunion and get that money into them, or so you'll have your name in the pot, so it'll be food for you to eat. Franklin County class of 1969, their 55th reunion celebration is going to be October the 12th at the Old Town Social House at 335 Main Street, Rocky Mount, from 5:30 to 7:30. There will be a cash bar. That means if you want anything alcoholic or non-alcoholic to drink, you got to pay for it. There are going to be small plates available, and you need to RSVP or text to 540-354-4589 or 540-420-1167. And it says, please share this information by media, text, email. Excuse me, no invitations will be mailed. Also going on this coming Friday night, as usual, the Fish Fry Fridays from 4:30 until 8 o'clock. They will have your fish and another meat, maybe pork, beef. You never know what you're going to get, but it's always delicious. Your sides, your salad, your dessert, and your drink for $12 plus tax. Trust me, you cannot beat that price anywhere, and the food is delicious. They have a new catering service. It is the Metz family, and when we tried it, it was delicious. Very good. Let's see. That's a ways away. Okay, let's put on your calendar. Appalachian Horror Story, The Witch of the Woods, a Haunted Trail Experience. This is going to be from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. on October the 18th and 19th. Now, this is to put this on your calendar so you won't forget. Tickets are available at www.yourfairandpark.com/events. And you have to get your tickets because they schedule you going through this trail. So whatever's going on, you won't see what's going on. They want to have space in between the parties that will be going on this trail. So you want to get your reservation in. We do have coming up, put this on your calendar, Friday, October the 4th at 7 p.m. at Cooper's Cove Community Center for outdoor games and kids activities, followed by the showing of Kung Fu Panda 4. Dress accordingly. It may be getting cool by then. Bring a chair, blanket, light source. Snacks and drinks will be for sale. In case of inclement weather, the event will be moved indoor to the Essex Center. This past week, I did have an opportunity to be at the Senior Expo at the Essex Center. It was lots of seniors there, lots of vendors there, telling people there were things that I found out that I did not know that we had available here in Franklin County. So we want to thank all the seniors that came out, and they had bags full of goodies. I was giving away some candy, and even people helped themselves to my pens I had there to fill out chances. Everybody wanted to fill out a chance to win something. And if you joined the Lions Club that day, you got to have a chance on winning a broom. A lady did walk in and said, I want to join, and she won a broom right on the spot. So we did want to thank the Essex Center for sponsoring that wonderful Senior Expo last Thursday. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We will be here again on Wednesday, and we're going to have the principal, Mr. Ray Deskins from the Franklin County High School, to come and talk to us about how the beginning of school has gone and about safety in our schools. So join us again on Wednesday to meet and greet and talk to Mr. Ray Deskins from Franklin County High School. Thanks again for joining us this morning, and we'll see you again soon.